What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 68th Java tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to tell you guys how to make something called JComboBoxes. Now what a JComboBox is, it's pretty much just a drop down list, but that's what Java named it, so you know they had to be different. So let's go ahead and enough of the small talk, let's get started making it. And I just want to tell you guys what this combo box is going to do is it's going to give you a list of pictures to drop down in your drop down list, and depending on what picture you select is what's going to appear on your screen. So that's a real quick overview of the program. So we need two variables. One's going to be the JComboBox, which is going to be the drop down list itself, and I'm just going to name mine box. You can name yours list if you want, but again I'm going to name mine box. And the next thing we need is the picture to appear on the right hand side of it. So I'm going to make it private J label, and the pictures are named J label in Java, and I'm going to name my variable picture. I mean, why not? It's nice and easy. Now the next thing we need to create is actually two arrays. Now you see here I already have two images, b.ping and x.ping, and these are pretty much just an image that says b and an image that says x with a little graphics on it. So we need to create two arrays. The first array is going to store the file name, and the second array is going to store the picture itself. So let's go ahead and put private static, we don't want it to change, string, and remember this is going to store the path, and the path is just a string, and I'm going to name it file name, and we'll set it equal to b.ping, and make sure you put it in quotes since it's a string. So that's the first element of the array, and the second one is x.ping. Make sure I got png, and so now we have an array called file name, and it has two elements in it, b.ping and x.ping. Simple enough. Now let's go ahead and create a new array that is an icon array, and we do it like that, and we'll name this one pics, and this is going to store the files themselves. So let's go ahead, and as the first element what we need to do is put new image icon, and for the parameter of image icon put get class, and it's going to be this class itself. It's going to select and get resource, and the resource for this is going to be the parameter it takes as a name, and for the name we can write b.ping, but let's go ahead and write file name with the index of 0. So our first element in this array is the file name index of 0. So let's see, 1, 2, make sure I got my parentheses. There are a lot of parentheses here. Yep, that's right. So now let's go ahead and just copy this. So the first element in this pics array is pretty much this b picture itself. This is just a file name. This is the actual image. So let's go ahead and add the second array by pasting that, and the second element is file name 1. Remember, arrays start at 0 and then the next one is 1. So now we can go ahead and go to our next line. So now we got two arrays. One stores the file names and one stores the pictures. And we're actually going to be using the file names later, so that's why I just didn't put the file names right here. You'll see why in a little bit. So now that we got all our variables and arrays, we can go ahead and start building the constructor like we always do. So public, my class is named GUI, and let's go ahead and add a body to that constructor. And the first thing we're going to want to add, as always, is the title. And I'm just going to write the title, nothing fancy, and set layout to, there we go. And the layout for this, since we didn't learn layouts yet, is new flow layout, just like that. So now we have a title and a layout on our window. What else can we do? The first thing we're going to want to do is create that drop down box with the file names is the list options. So I'm going to take that box variable that I created up here and set it equal to new JComboBox, if I can spell, and the parameter it takes here is an array of options. And since we want our options to be bping and xping so the user knows what's going on, go ahead and write file name in here. And what this will do is automatically put all of these options in a list for us. How cool is that? So now let's go ahead and get my cursor set up and go to the next line. And what can we do after this? Well, we have this box, this drop down box just chilling here right now. What we want to do is add some functionality to it, and we do this by adding an item listener. So actually I'm going to do this in the next tutorial, since it's going to take well, I know I'm going to run out of time in this tutorial, but an overview right now. We created a box, we created a variable for the picture that we want to appear on the right side of the drop down box, we created an array of file names, an array of images, of my two images, we added a title, set the layout for our window, and we added a box to the window. Then in the next tutorial we're actually going to be adding some events to this box, so when you click one of the options something actually happens. But for now, that's it for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next tutorial.